Hello everyone, this is Shimmy, back with some more Kerbal Space Program, playing the Sandbox Space Campaign, and today I've really decided that I am going to go ahead and try the whole Kethane mining scenario back on Minmus again. I gained a little courage, at the thought of it. I decided to go ahead and redesign a couple different things here in order to, make this work a little bit better. So what I've done, I've changed the miner module that I'm sending to Minmus and to have less Kethane tanks on it, but I've included a Kethane converter. So the Kethane tanker that will come up after it will not need to worry about conversion. It will be able to convert Kethane back into fuel so it can refuel its liquid fuel and oxidizer so it can lift back off of the surface of Minmus without any problem. So I went ahead and went up to Minmus. I went up to Minmus. I got around Minmus. I had to wait in orbit for a little bit for things to line up with the whole signals because it was remote control and all that, and I only have one satellite to worry about up there to relay the signal from home. But after I had everything set up, I went ahead and went for the landing. I had a pretty uneventful landing. It took me a while because it was in the dark. I didn't have any lights, and but yeah. So I went ahead and landed and made sure everything worked on the mining module, and it works just fine. So at this point, what I'll be doing is launching a Kethane tanker, and as I do that. It's a slightly different version of the Kethane tanker. It only has a one-man pod on the bottom of the tanker. It still is remote controllable if needed, and I put Bill in there. What I've done though, instead of putting Bill in the part in which it is unsafe in launch, I've put him in an extra escape module on the top, and you'll see when that decouples that he'll be in the top there, and I'll have to transfer him later. But have a problem here. I did a complete miscalculation of the launch, and I couldn't even get the Kethane tanker into orbit as far as using my launch stages, and I had to use fuel to get both of to get the tanker into orbit along with the escape pod, because I didn't want to be switching Bill over to the other module in the middle of launch. So right now, what I'm waiting to do is see if I can finally just get this thing into orbit. If not, I'm gonna have to use RCS to see if I can get into orbit. I didn't have much Delta V left, and no, I didn't have enough. Looking at it again. So, at this moment, I'm going to go ahead and EVA... oh, wait a second. Bill, you're in the wrong one. You were... man. Okay. He didn't even get in the right thing, so it didn't even matter. Okay. So, just... how do I want to do this? Let's just get rid of this. Whoa. Okay, so that is definitely going to be in orbit. Let's go ahead and check the map here. Let's go ahead and check the map. What's happening? Okay. And if we check this one. Yeah, it's definitely... that one's obtained orbit. But I have not obtained orbit in this tanker. Actually, what I should have done is escaped in that one, just to be safe. But I think we are good enough to make sure this thing is going to work, and we're just going to go ahead and use manual RCS maneuvers here in order to raise our periapsis into a higher orbit here. Yeah, we're going to have enough. The problem is how we're going to be able to refuel it in order to make sure we can get this thing into to Minmus. So I'm just going to go ahead and hold down this H key while I wait for this thing to obtain orbital velocity that is above the atmosphere of Kerbal. As soon as I do that, I'm going to go ahead and try and figure out if it's going to be possible for me to either go to the K station to see if I can refuel any of the fuel that was left in there, or if I'm going to need to send up a refueling tank in order to refuel this in order to go to Minmus. So I'll see you when I've got that all figured out. Well, it turns out that I've just entirely royally messed up. Yes, I'm not going to be able to get that Kethane tanker to the K station. I'm not even sure if there's going to be enough fuel for it to use anyway, so I'm going to have to quickly design a small refueling craft that will be able to get up to the K tanker and fill it with enough fuel for it to go. So I'm going to need the amount of 440. So I think I need about 4 of these fuel tanks right here. And, yeah, so if I just go ahead and take one of these, this will be enough fuel to give to the tanker. However, I'm going to need some orbital operation fuel here, so I'm going to go ahead and put that there. I'm going to need a remote tech omnidirectional antenna here. I'll put 2 of those on there. I'm going to need solar panels. Two of those should be fine. I'm going to need batteries. Let's go ahead and put 2 batteries on here. And we will go ahead and put one of these smaller engines on there and see how much delta V this is going to give us so far. Well, we can't really count that. We need to make sure that we're not counting all that fuel because we don't want to be using that in our orbital maneuvers. So if we just add this here just to make things calculate properly, 629 meters a second at delta V. That should be plenty in order to do the maneuvers that we need to do. So we'll just go ahead and remove that. And so this can be our refueling tank. We're going to need, just in case, we're going to have pipe endpoints on this thing. Just to be more convenient, we're going to include 4 of those. And now we need to get this thing up in orbit. So we'll go ahead and quickly design a lifting system for this. And we're going to go ahead and add one of those. And we're going to go ahead and probably add this right here. Put that there. Let's see. That is definitely not enough delta V. We need probably twice that amount of fuel here. Yes, that's what we're looking for. So now we're going to want to take this entire thing, and we'll go ahead and do a side. Side thing here. Side thing. Very, very technical terminology. Side stacks. So we'll go ahead and add those there. Let's go ahead and put that a little lower so it looks nicer. Go ahead and put that up there. And then we'll go ahead and do the fuel crossfeed. Let's go ahead and bring these down. Go ahead and bring that up. And so that is still not enough fuel. Okay, if we drop that engine down there. We're going to need more fuel, though, so we're going to go ahead and add another one of these. And that is almost enough for me to be comfortable. However, yeah, that's not going to let me attach that there. Okay, let's see here. Alright, so if I just twist that around there, I can go ahead and put the Kerbal engineer on the side. That works. I don't know if it should be touching. No touchy. Okay, let's go ahead and just bring this down here then. And yeah, that's actually really good. I like that. Let's go ahead and add a little cones there. And we'll go ahead and add our struts, and we'll go ahead and prepare for launch. Oops, that's not a strut. So I normally don't build in my series, but since this was something impromptu, Might as well want to show you what I think of, what I'm thinking when I build these rockets here. So yes, everything seems to be. Oh, wait a second, that doesn't seem to be right. What happened here? The staging is all weird now. Oh, because it's not feeding to the right thing. Oh, whoops. There we go. 4874 meters a second at delta V should be plenty. So what I'll be doing is doing that. We're going to go ahead and name this the emergency refueler. And we'll go ahead and launch it. It's kind of a weird looking rocket shape. I could put a cone on top of here, but then I think that'd be way too much weight, because if I do that, go to aerodynamic, and yeah, I don't know. I could have put a fairing around this entire thing, but I'm kind of in a hurry, and I didn't want to take too much time building. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave it at this. So we're going to go ahead and let this launch. And what I'm going to need to do is wait for the map to load, and wait for the K-Tank MK2 to come around here. Whoops. Okay, that should be plenty. Oh, it might be the Kethane that was making the thing load for a while. But yeah. Okay, it might be a little late on this, but yeah, we're just going to go ahead and launch real quick. And we're going to go ahead... Oh, shoot. Oh, no. Oh, no. Wasted a lot of Delta V just sitting there. Okay. I already spent the money because I hit the staging key, and yeah, that definitely was some money. I didn't even check to see the cost of that. Ooh, I don't feel good about that. Okay, well, all right. We'll just go ahead and do this launch, and we'll see if I can even get into the orbit with this thing, and I'll see you when I get there. Alrighty, I was able to make it into orbit, and now what I gotta do is just do the good old rendezvous sort of thing. I was a little slow on the trigger on cutting off my burn, so what I'm gonna have to do is actually lower my orbit a little bit as I wait for these orbits to align properly, so I can do a rendezvous, a home and transfer. So yes, so that's what I'll be doing at the moment. I'll be bringing my orbit down, and I'll just be doing a rendezvous. You've seen me do that before. I'm just probably going to cut that out entirely. It's kind of going to be a tedious process with these orbits being so close to each other. So yeah, I might be doing this for a while. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and see you when I am ready and approaching the target so I can refuel, and then we can get on with this mission. Alrighty, I am back. Wishing that I had RCS on this thing, because this thing is really sluggish with its tiny little probe core. But I am just about to rendezvous with the K-Tank Mark II that I have here in orbit. And yeah, so that was a pretty interesting launch. I had the staging done incorrectly. You know, that happens when you do things on the fly. You just don't check that stuff, and you make mistakes. So you got to see me make mistakes while I was doing this, but yeah, so I am just about here, just reducing my relative velocity here, and if I can get this below a meter a second, then I can go ahead and switch to the other craft, and then use its RCS in order to maneuver properly. And then I can go ahead and transfer fuel. And so yeah, obviously I definitely had enough fuel to do everything, to get into orbit and even do these maneuvers. So I was pretty lucky about that. You know, even being held on the launch clamp, burning at full power for several seconds. You know, every second matters when it comes to, you know, spacecraft, and, you know, and rockets and all that. So yeah. So here we go. I didn't get 0 meters a second here, but I definitely will be able to maneuver. So, Bill, you know, I had put you in this craft because I was under the impression that you'd be able to, like, not mess this up. But, you know, it doesn't seem that was the case here. You know, you definitely messed something up here. Maybe not the flying, but you know, you you got in the wrong stinking pod. You know, I had planned to just have that extra pod there just to be absolutely sure in case that there was an issue with launch. I'd be able to make sure that you'd be able to get out and return back to Kerbal safely. And evidently, I don't have a prograde marker here, which is kind of a bummer here, but you know what, whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and try and not crash. But I need to be able to maneuver and get close to one of those panels, or not one of those pipe ends. So I'm going to go ahead and retract this. I'm going to go ahead and switch my chase camera to this, and then I'm going to go ahead and not hit the panel. Ooh, jeez Louise. Alright. And is that thing spinning? And I'm going to go ahead and slow down. I think it's tumbling. Stop tumbling. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring this down slightly. Bring my relative velocity low again. I'm going to go ahead and bring it in a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and rotate a bit because I want these parts to be relatively close when I attach the pipes. So, yes, as you can see, I've decided that I'm still going to go with the pipes, even though I had such a utter failure. And I'm going to instate a new quick save policy. Oops, I want to. Oh no, oh no. And I'm going to basically quick save when I do such things as docking and things that I have a feeling that might be a little glitchy. Just in case. You know, it's not my fault if the mods break, so I shouldn't be punished for them. So yes, all right. I want you to go ahead and get out here. All right. So as I was saying that, let's not forget. I'm going to go ahead and quick save right now, and then just go ahead and do these attaches right here. Actually, I kind of did that not so good. I'm going to need to come back and back up a little bit because that is definitely not where I want it to be. So let's go ahead and get back in here, Bill. And I'm going to go ahead and back up. And then we're going to go ahead and go in this direction. We're going to stop. Because if I know that according to the mod maker, say if if these things are kind of in weird directions, then you'll start having problems. So I don't want it to be in weird directions. That's one thing, you know. Which I was aware of before even that issue on Minmus, you know, happened. But, okay. I think I'm just going to have to eyeball this to make sure it doesn't start floating. Alright, so, let's go ahead and do this again. RCS. Let's go ahead and F5 this. Alright. And let's go ahead and hook this up. Oops. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and link. And link. There we go. Perfect. We should be able to transfer fuel and then be on our merry way towards Minmus. Okay. Very nice. Let's go ahead and transfer this stuff in. So I'm just going to go ahead and transfer all this fuel. And then once I'm all done, I'm going to go ahead and start with the whole plan of heading out to Minmus. And we will go ahead and continue with the mission there.